We are lucky today. We've got a guest speaker from Pioneer Bank. Her name is Cindy Schneider. She is the Assistant Supervisor of Accounts Processing. Mm-hmm. She's going to talk to us about a lot of the topics that we covered in Module 2 and Module 3. And everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about, right? Do you remember Module 2?
Yeah. Not exactly.
Saving, budgeting.
But
Okay. So, Cindy, take it away.
Thanks for having me in today. Like Mr. Treankler said, I am with Pioneer Bank. I work out of Auburndale, and basically I'm in the bookkeeping department. I bring in a lot of your electronic files, your payroll, and process them into your checking and savings accounts. So as far as savings goes, how many of you have a job or have a way to save, get money to save it for things that you want? Or okay. So when you get your paychecks, do you put a little bit into savings, or do you just go and blow it off?
I save sometimes.
Do you? Okay. So say you bring home $200 a week, and you really want this great pair of tennis shoes. Could you afford to put $10 away each week to save up for those shoes? And okay. Another way to think of it is when you get your paycheck, maybe a good idea would be to figure out what you're going to spend in the 2 weeks that maybe you get a paycheck and put 10 or 15% of that check away so that you have, and then come up with a goal of what you want to save for, whether it be go to college, buy a new car. Do you have a savings account?
Yeah.
No. Okay. Do any of you have savings accounts?
No.
Okay. No. With a savings account, the more when you put money in each month, it gains interest on that amount that you have in there. Some savings accounts do require you to have a minimum balance. At Pioneer Bank, if you're under 18, we have a youth savings account where you don't have to keep a minimum balance in there. Once you turn 18, you do have to keep a $200 minimum balance in your account to prevent a service charge, which is a charge that most banks will charge to maintenance your account or keep it in the bank. Other ways to save money would be to open a CD, which is a certificate of deposit. And those, you can't withdraw money throughout the year, usually without taking a penalty on the amount of money that you have in there. Those also gain interest, and you can take those out from as little as 1 year all the way up to 5 years. And most of those you can start with a little bit of $100. Some you can take it all the way up to $5,000 or $10,000. And then as you gain interest on these throughout the year, it pays out interest every 6 months or more. You can select it to pay out your interest each month if you wanted to, or you could wait till that CD expires and then it pays it out. And then you can either take all that money at one time, or you can renew it into another CD or IRA. Another way to save money would be to invest it. And we have an investment person at the bank, and he deals with all of our investing in whether you want to buy stocks in a company or bonds, or you can open a mutual fund. I am not real versatile in those type of accounts. A stock is when you buy into a company, and as that company makes money, you make money. If they lose money, you're going to lose whatever you invested into that company. And a bond is similar to that also. Other ways to save money, I guess if you get money for your birthday or you get an allowance, you could put some of that money away. Any other questions?
One of the central topics that came up a lot in Module 2 and also in Module 3 was tied to liquidity.
Okay, liquidity.
Would you be comfortable talking about that? how the different types of savings and investment tools
Let me,
are related to liquidity or the ability to get at their cash.
with a savings account, yeah, you could have that jar of money at home, but what's going to prevent you from going in it every day and saying, oh, I need $2 to go to McDonald's, and then your money is going to go down. If you have a savings account in a bank or a checking account or a mutual fund, you actually have to go there to withdraw that money. With the technology today, with the electronic banking, yeah, you can transfer money back and forth between your two accounts, or you can make sure that it's on there so that if you have a debit card, you know what debit cards are. That is ways to get your money out through an ATM machine or purchase something at a store. But it's a little bit, it will drain your account, but it doesn't prevent you from using the money. A savings account, you do have to actually go to the bank to get the money out. It's a little bit harder to just pull it out of your pocket or pull it out of that jar that you may be saving, a piggy bank type of thing. Most of all your banking accounts, or majority of them, are protected by the FDIC, and that is an insurance that all banks will have, so that if that bank fails, it will ensure that that depositor gets up to $250,000 back of their deposit money. So if today Pioneer Bank decided to close its doors and you have $2,000 in your account, you're guaranteed to get that money back, so that you're not without that money. And that was developed with the Great Depression, because we had over 3,000 banks close at one time, and banks and businesses lost all their money, and there was nothing they could do about it to get it back. They just went without. So, any other questions you may have?
So when Cody is making the big money, 10 years down the road, he should only put $250,000 in each.
Well, if you have multiple accounts, you have a checking account, you have a CD, you have a savings account, you can get up to that much on each account. If you are joint with somebody on an account, you get $5,000 and they get $5,000. So you get a pretty good, you can tie all your accounts together and you get up to that amount of money. You get $250 for each checking account, each savings account, if you are the only person on it. If you're joint on it, you get $5,000. On your CDs, you get what you have, and then if you have somebody who is a beneficiary on it, somebody that would get it if you pass away, they also get so much money off of that CD. I do have a couple handouts today on mutual funds that I'll hand out to you guys that will explain more on those. And I'm sorry, I'm just not very versatile on what those are. But they are ways to invest your money other than a savings or a checking account or opening a CD. And I do have a list of different accounts that we do offer at Pioneer Bank, and whether or not they have a minimum balance that you need to keep in there per month without getting that service charge.
So does Pioneer Bank let you take out loans?
Yes.
So, what would you do if it's your first time taking out a loan?
If you are under 18, they are going to require a co-signer, but you would have to come in and show proof of your income and fill out
check stubs and stuff like
check stubs. Yep.
I'm 18 and I want to take out a loan, but would I just have to bring like proof ID and like social
Proof of ID, social security number. They may want to know if you're not a customer of Pioneer Bank, what type of accounts you have at the other banks, and what your balance is. 'Cause they want to make sure that you're going to be able to pay back what you borrow.
what if you don't have like any account set up anywhere? Can you still take out a loan, or do you have to set up an account first?
They probably would ask you to start an account at the bank, whether you just put $5 in it at this time. But they would want to see that you have some, and it depends on your income also. They may require even that you are 18 and you want to take out a loan, being that it's possibly your first loan for a car or whatever, they may still require a cosigner on that, so that if you do fail to make your payments, they have to help you out.
Sweet.
Any other questions? Okay.
Can you speak to interest rates? Looking at the different savings and investment tools that Pioneer has, what can they expect?
Right now, savings account interest rates, I hate to say it, are pretty poor, pretty low. But we get our interest rates from the federal government. And right offhand, I can't say what the interest rates are. CDs, the certificates of deposits, the rates are somewhat low at this point, but I do have seen them starting to come up. I would say the rates are probably about 5% right now on most accounts. Some might be a little bit lower.
And then, but in exchange for the additional earnings, their money is tied up, it's less liquid, correct?
Right. If it is a youth account, that interest only does get paid out quarterly. So it gives you a little more time to build up some money in those youth accounts. But if it is I'd say an over 18 account, you can decide what type of savings account you want, one that pays out quarterly or one that pays out monthly. So, anything else?
Quiet crew.
Let's see, let's just give you a little bit of background on me. I've been with the bank about 15 years. When I started, I had no idea about banking. And, it was basically where I went to cash my paycheck, put money into my checking, write out checks, pay bills. Now that I've been there for the 15 years, I've seen a lot of changes. There's the internet banking, which wasn't popular or hadn't even started when I started at the bank. I've learned more on debit cards, credit cards. If you do get a credit card and you got this high balance, I would try to pay at least the minimum each month. And I've learned a lot on paying those off, because that all goes against your credit score. That is something else they look at when you go for a loan, is how well you pay other bills that you may have out there, and how your savings account and checking accounts also go with their credit score. So that's a little bit of my background.
Do you have a credit card through Pioneer Bank?
We do have a credit card that is being offered through the bank. It's not serviced with the bank, but you can apply for it at Pioneer Bank. We're in the process of somebody else buying out our credit card, but we won't service it, but it will still have our bank name on it and be considered a Pioneer Bank credit card. I'm not sure what the rate changes are going to be on that. Right now, I believe the rate on our credit card is 3.9, which is considerably lower than most credit cards. A lot of credit cards are at like 21% right now. So. Okay.
Any other questions?
I have some pens and pencils for you guys today. Well, if you guys come up with any other questions in the next day or so or weeks, just, call the bank and ask for me, and I can gladly find out an answer for you if I don't know it, or answer anything you may have. Just want to thank you for having me come in today.
Thank you very much.